Hello friends, today we are going to study a topic in module 4, the LMTD method. So in the last class we were introduced what is heat exchangers, what is the overall heat transfer coefficient, etc. And we had discussed that there are two heat exchanger analysis. One is the LMTD method and the other is the effectiveness NTU method. So today we are going to start the LMTD analysis. It is very important and very simple also. The derivation is quite simple. So we will be discussing parallel flow heat exchanger in this session. So introduction to LMTD. LMTD is the logarithmic mean temperature difference. We know that having defined overall heat transfer coefficient, Q is defined as Q equal to UA into delta T. Q is the heat transfer, U is the overall heat transfer coefficient, A is the surface area and delta T is the temperature difference. However, for heat exchangers, the temperature varies with the length for different flow arrangements, right? There is a variation of temperature, so we cannot take one specific temperature difference. Temperature difference also changes over the length, so it is convenient for us to take a mean for this, and this mean is found to be logarithmic mean. Okay. So for a parallel flow heat exchanger, consider a parallel flow heat exchanger as shown like this. Tube in tube heat exchangers with inlet temperature THI, THO. So the hot fluid goes into the tube and cold fluid is outside the tube. It's a parallel flow arrangement. Since we know that there is a temperature drop or temperature distribution across the length, we can use the differential integration concept. So we will be using a small differential area dA, and we will be analyzing that and we will be integrating it over the entire length to find out the temperature distribution for the whole length of the heat exchanger. So these are the terminology. Please have a look at the terminology. See, the inlet temperature of hot fluid is THI, outlet temperature of hot fluid is THO. This is actually THO. Please correct it as THO. This is THO. Okay, so I hope it's clear. THO it is, and cold fluid enters at TCI and it is going out as TCO. The mass flow rate of hot fluid is m dot h, mass flow rate of cold fluid is m dot c, and delta T1, how it is defined? THI minus TCI. Delta T2 is defined as THO minus TCO. And for this arbitrary area, let the temperature difference be TH and TC, therefore delta T equal to TH minus TC, and through this arbitrarily small area, let the heat transfer from the hot fluid to the cold fluid be del Q as shown in the figure, and due to the heat transfer the temperature drop on the hot fluid is dTH. So actually this dTH here, it is had to be negative. Why? Because the temperature is dropping over this length. So final minus initial is the differential. So final temperature is less than initial temperature, so it is minus dTH. What about dTC? dTC is positive. Why? Because the final cold temperature is final temperature of the cold fluid is higher than the initial temperature, so dTC is positive here. And for the solution, it is a very simple derivation actually. We need to know only 3 or 4 equations, and simplifying these 3-4 equations will get you the answer. So it's very simple. So the first equation will be coming across as del Q equal to minus mh Cph dTh. That is del Q equal to mc delta T, mh Cph into, for the small area, dTh. Why there is a negative sign? Why? Because dTh is negative, therefore it is minus mh Cph dTh. Similarly, whatever heat is lost by the hot fluid is accepted by the cold fluid, so del Q equal to mc Cpc dTc. So this comes as the second equation. And now here we have the third equation. Third equation is del q equal to u delta t dA. So there are three equations for del q. The first equation is minus mh cph dth, second equation is mc cpc dtc, and the third equation is del q equal to u delta t dA. Del q equal to u delta t dA. Okay, and that is the first set of equations, and the second set of equations for capital Q, the total heat transfer. Total heat transfer Q equal to mh cph into thi minus tho, mc cpc tco minus tca. So let this be the fourth equation, this whole set. Okay, so having got the four equations, so the solution is based on only these four equations. So let's start. So first thing we take here is what is delta t. Delta t. So delta t, from the figure it is clear that delta t equal to th minus tc, right? Delta t equal to th minus tc. So what will be d delta t, the differential form? It will be equal to dth minus dtc. So d delta t equal to dth minus dtc. So now it's our time to take the first equation. From the first equation it is clear that dth equal to del q by minus mh cph and dtc equal to del q by mc cpc. So substitute these two and we find that del q is common there, minus del q in fact is common there. So minus del q into 1 by mh cph plus 1 by mc cpc, right? Now we will use the third equation. We know the third equation gives us del q equal to u delta t dA. We have here del q, so instead of del q we can substitute the equation 3 over there. Therefore d delta t equal to minus u delta t dA into 1 by mh cph plus 1 by mc cpc. So here if we take delta t to the left hand side, delta t to the left hand side, d delta t by delta t equal to minus u dA into 1 by mh cph plus 1 by mc cpc. So this is a constant actually here. So in order to avoid writing that often, I'll term it as b, capital B. It's not required actually, just writing it as capital B. Okay, so we have here d delta t by delta t. So if we need to find out delta t or the final delta t, this is the differential delta t. To find the final delta t, what can we do? We can integrate it out, right? So integrating upon its limits delta t1 and delta t2, the right hand integrand becomes minus ub. Ub is a constant. Integral dA is a. So this comes to logarithm, right? Logarithm delta t2 by delta t1 equal to minus uba. That is minus ua into b. Actually it was 1 by mh cph plus 1 by mc cpc. So now how many equations we have used? 3 equations we have used. Now there is a slot for the fourth equation, right? Fourth equation is what? Q equal to mh cph into thi minus tho and Q equal to mc cpc into tco minus tca. So what can we how can we combine these two equations? Here 1 by mh cph we can make, right? 1 by mh cph equal to thi minus tho by q, right? So that we can substitute in this equation, and this we can substitute in this equation, right? So upon substitution it will be like this, minus ua by q, it will come, q is a common term, into thi minus tho plus tco minus tci. So actually we have arrived at our equation, just need to simplify some more. Now let us group these thi and tci. Let me group that together, minus of tho minus tco, just regrouping. But thi minus tci, we will go back to our figure. Thi minus tci, it is actually delta t1, right? And tho minus tco is our delta t2. So this is actually delta t1 minus delta t2, right? So upon simplification, upon rearranging again, we'll take q to the left hand side and logarithmic term to the right hand side. Q equal to minus ua delta t1 minus delta t2 divided by logarithm of delta t2 by delta t1. we will take this negative sign inside, therefore it is equal to UA into delta T1 minus delta T2 divided by logarithm of delta T1 by delta T2. Okay, so we already know Q equal to UA into delta T LM. If we define like that, then delta T LM or logarithmic mean equal to delta T1 minus delta T2 by log of delta T1 by delta T2. Okay, so this is our derivation. This is a very simple derivation, as you see, and here delta T1 equal to THI minus TCI, delta T2 equal to THO minus TCO. It's very clear from the figure also. To know the formula, it's very simple to remember the formula, and delta T1 and delta T2, students often make mistake while taking that, but there is no need for confusion. We just need to know the figure, so that delta T1 is THI minus TCI, okay, and delta T2 equal to THO minus TCO. So that is there for the parallel LMTD for parallel flow heat exchanger. Thank you.